We've got Jason Scott here from Stoke Fight Factory versus Lewis Wood from Salford MMA. A-class amateur rules. That's headshots, that's ground and pound. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, we saw Jason earlier. He looks like a bloody tank, doesn't he? He's got some serious power that he could unleash, but
fast hands here though from Lewis Wood.
Yeah, he's come out a great little opener. He's like, look, I'm going to take this to you.
Two very different body types here. Very short and stocky Jason Scott versus a much more tall and rangy Lewis Wood. Can Lewis make that range count though? He's doing so with a nice jab right cross combination to start this one off.
It's great opening exchange from photos.
Scott seems content to wait for a gap and throw bombs here. Wood's setting everything up nicely with his jab.
Yeah, they're throwing a lot of punches, trying to find a little bit of distance here. Kick there from Jason Scott. Quite short though, but like I said, range is so important. Both fighters looking to bang and exchange.
Scott's moving well. He's got good footwork, moving out of the way, circling nicely to the left of Lewis Wood. Wood there checking up the Anderson Silva special.
Yeah, cheeky little up kick there.
Doesn't work often, but when it works, it really works.
No, the force, you get the drive right through the chin. Knocks the jaw right into the brain and out.
Advancing nicely with that jab is Lewis Wood at the moment. Really is the story of this fight at this point.
Yeah, both fighters looking to stand. They're not really interested in going to the ground, so obviously looking for a big shot. Get this fight over sooner rather than later.
Scott's got a bit of a Clay Guida thing about him there. A lot of movement, but it's Wood who's controlling the pace of this fight with his jab more than Scott is with his movement at the moment.
Yeah, Scott's got a bit of movement, but he's trying to dart around and looking to unload that big right. He's tried to come and bring it over a few times, but not landed yet.
You know, double and triple jabs here from Lewis Wood, setting things up very, very nicely. He needs to throw the straight right behind it though. Yeah. Make it count.
You saw that big right again, but you know he's nowhere near at the moment. You know, he needs to find a bit more distance before unloading that, because the more this fight goes on, the more Lewis Wood is going to see that, look for the opening, unleash it on him.
Now they're trading.
Lewis
Wood again throwing that jab out like a lance.
Yeah, Lewis Wood is really starting to stalk him now. You kind of feel he's sussed out his opponent. He knows where his strengths are and he's just waiting for an opportunity.
Scott's face swelling up now at the moment from those shots. Wood's taken the centre of the cage. He's taken the dominant position and he is stalking his man around the cage. As you say, head kick attempt misses there. He's got his man pinned up. What can he do them against the cage?
Yeah, action right in front of us here. A great position. Lewis Wood looking to get an underhook, slips back, goes under control. Ref Neil Hall just gives him a little bit of a word. Stop clinging on to the cage. It gives a fighter such a big advantage.
This round is going to end in the clinch, it seems, up against the cage. Both men grappling for supremacy, and this is where the short, stocky frame of Jason Scott comes into play. Yeah. Fortunately, they weren't in the clinch long enough for Scott to make that count, and that first round goes to Lewis Wood. 10-9 on my scorecard.
Yeah, mine too. He controlled that round. Found his distance quite early on, got his range sorted. Was really controlled with that jab. Quite happy to stalk him round and wait for an opportunity. Scott trying to throw a big right, but you know he's not got the distance yet. Like we saw at the end, what he does need to do is get Lewis Wood against the cage and start controlling him. He's got that power. He's short, stocky, trying to get it to the ground and maybe a bit from fight. But as it stands on its feet, you've got to give it to Lewis Wood.
I'm very impressed by Lewis Wood and what he's doing with that jab. What I'm not impressed by is the fact that he's not following things up yet. He needs to throw the jab out. He's doubling up, tripling up on the jab. He's got to throw the straight behind it. He's got to throw a hook behind it, maybe even a body kick or a takedown. Who knows what's going to happen if this fight gets to the ground. But at the moment, as we say, Lewis Wood ahead by a hair as we go into this second round here at Full Contact Contender 3 at the Reebok Stadium in Bolton.
Yeah, all up for play in the second round. Neil Hall about to restart things here at FCC 3.
And Lewis Wood getting very eager to get things going.
He just wants it. He wants a piece. He came in. He was eager. You saw his face. Game face straight away.
And Scott there wanted to touch gloves. Wood was having none of it.
Nothing.
He's got that straight up zombie style boxing guard as Lewis Wood. Again stalking his man. Again throwing that jab out. Can he follow something up with it? He throws a high kick there. That was nice. What else can he put behind that jab?
I think Lewis Wood must have been listening to you there, Brad, because he's come out, he's thrown a few combos, mixed it up, went with the front kick, then with a nice leg kick.
Well, he'd do well to listen to me, but what can we say? Again, throwing the kick to the body down low there. And you've got to be wondering what's going through Jason Scott's mind at this point. You know, he's been unsuccessful on the feet, but he's not throwing takedowns either.
No, I'm wondering what his camp has actually said to him in the corner, like, you know, giving him a game plan. Like you're saying, I don't think he's really offering much of this opportunity, but he does have that big right hand, and if that connects, well, it's a different fight altogether, isn't it?
You would think so, but, you know, is he getting tired at this point? Is that hand going to have the same kind of power behind it? It's Wood there, throwing combinations. They're in a grapple now, and you think this is where Scott will be more confident, up tight, in close, where he can make that short, stocky frame count.
Yeah, it does well, puts his opponent right against the cage, one of works him here, but he loses position there. Lewis Wood switches over, puts in a nice knee, and now going to work himself to try and get a takedown. Jason Scott responding there with a nice little knee. It's times like this.
That one went low. That one went low, and Neil Hall's going to stop the action there. Straight to the baby makers.
That's never fun to see, is it? We all know how that feels. Well, I say all of us, half of us do. Before I was just going to say, it's always a difficult position there up against the cage. What a lot of people don't appreciate is the amount of energy that goes in. You know, those exchanges, to-in and throw-in on the cage, looking for a position. It really saps a lot of energy.
You're working your entire upper body there. Everything, you know, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, everything's going. It takes a lot of energy out, and, you know, a guy like Jason Scott, who's clearly looking for this big right-hand knockout, this clinch grappling's, you know, you might think that's where he's favoured, but it's going to cost him in terms of his power in the long run.
Yeah, it's interesting there. Both fighters come into again, and Scott just immediately got on the back pedal. Just, you know,
he's letting Wood take the centre of the cage. He's letting him dictate the pace of the fight. Wood seems to content to score with the jab, though. He's not really putting any power behind the right hand or the kicks that follow it. But, you know, it's a winning strategy at the moment in this fight, so fair play to the guy.
Yeah, why change it? If it's not broke, why try and fix it? But, you know, we're going to move soon. Well, if we get there.
Oh, nice left-right hook combo. And Wood's unloading now. Scott unperturbed. Still standing there. Beckoning his man on. Winging that overhand right.
Yeah, like we see again, Jason Scott still trying to throw that right, but, you know, he's quite a long way away from actually landing it. He's not getting anywhere near it. You know, I think he needs to try and mix this up at the moment, because where he stands, he's in a difficult position. Lewis Wood is controlled.
Oh, there's a nice right cross there from Lewis Wood. And they're followed up by a knee. Now they're trading shots. Wood looking confident. Nice teep kick. Superman punch with the right hand. And a great end to round two between Jason Scott and Lewis Wood. And again, it's Lewis Wood winning these stand-up exchanges, scoring points and taking the second round.
Yeah, Lewis Wood is chewing away at him, isn't he, really? And his confidence is building. You saw in that nice little Superman punch there. You know, he's got to be confident now. He's landing. Let's see what happens in the third, though. I mean, if it stays on its feet, you just can't see it's going any other way than Lewis Wood. Jason Scott's throwing that big right, but he's not really connecting at all. So, thoughts are, maybe mix it up, maybe take it to the ground, Brad, because...
Absolutely, Jez. You know, Lewis Wood was looking confident towards the end, and so he should have been. He's winning these stand-up exchanges every single time, but the onus is on him now to do something more. Is he content to ride this round out, or does he want to go for the finish? We'd hope he wants to go for the finish, but what we've got to say at this point in the fight is Jason Scott, he needs a stoppage now, because he's currently down 20-18 on the unofficial scorecard. But you've got to think he's going to be down 20-18 on the judges' scorecards too. Yeah,
so let's see where this goes. He's either got to go from a submission, or he's got to get that right hand landed right on the chin. Lights out.
I mean, once you've taken the guy down, that range doesn't, you know, play in as much. He needs to be in close. He needs to have his man pressed against the cage, or he needs to put his man on his back. But at the moment, he's not really shown us that he's able to do that.
No, he's tried a couple of takedowns, but he's not really seen them through. He's got to commit to something here.
And again, Lewis Wood has his man backed against the cage.
A little bit of frustration there from Lewis Wood, that he's trying to mix it up but not getting the contact that he wants to.
Scott winging that right hand again to no avail. And it's Wood throwing out the jab. He's not even connecting a lot with it, but he's just controlling the distance, controlling the pace of the fight. And now Scott forces his man against the cage, but he's turned at the last minute.
Some nice work by Lewis Wood.
Look at the knee, but it's a nice combination from Wood.
Scott went in there with a takedown, he shifted his arm, wriggled out, putting a few knees, and was like, no, I'm not having this. Let's go up and bang again. It's good defence from Lewis Wood here. And he's now on the stalk and on the prowl again.
It's been the story of this fight. Lewis Wood stalking Jason Scott all over this cage.
Scott still trying to come in with that big right, but you know, the more he throws it, the more tired he is and the more slow it becomes.
If Lewis Wood stalks Jason Scott anymore, he could get a restraining order.
I love that, I love that, I love that. Lewis Wood coming in there with a nice high kick to the head. Doesn't look like he's caused Jason Scott too much trouble, but he's got the range, and if he throws another one like that, well, who knows.
Wood now throwing power behind the right hand, but Scott comes back with a big overhand right bomb.
Yeah, Lewis Scott gets caught there, but it just gives him a little smile, says, come on, what have you got, what have you got, come on, let's take this now. He's looking to finish this fight here and now.
Scott's done the back foot so much, you think a tear up in the pocket would favour the shorter, stockier man. He can generate so much power with short hooks, but he just doesn't seem up for it. He's content to stay on the back foot, but he's losing the fight at this point.
Yeah, well, it's difficult because Lewis Wood has been so dominant. And
and a nice knee there from Wood. Wood is looking to pounce here at the end of this fight.
Could be looking to close this fight out. He's got
another flying knee, this time to the body. Throwing the lefts and rights is Lewis Wood. Scott's content to take them.
Both fighters standing off. Lewis Wood really pressed him. Thought he was going to close in there more. He let Scott just stand up away, catch his breath. I thought he was going to close it out and just finish it there, but happy to maybe just see it out and get the decision. Scott's
looking tired now as well. You know, this beatdown is wearing on him. It's not the most savage of beatdowns we've ever seen, but taking all those jabs, taking all those body shots, it's got to be adding up at this point in the fight, Jez.
Yeah, massively. And Scott's thrown a lot himself. He's not landing, but, you know, still, when he's throwing those arms around, you know, it's going to have an effect on you. Until the last 9 seconds.
The first takedown of the fight comes, and amazingly it's Lewis Wood.
I think that's sealed. Getting that takedown, I think that's going to out now.
Well, Lewis Wood put a stamp on that fight with that last takedown.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the finish, but it was a very, very one-sided fight there. All rounds in favour of Lewis Wood. 10-9, 30-27 the fight.
And Lewis Wood puts in an impressive display. He moves 2-0 in his amateur career. Looking forward to seeing him again in the octagon.
It's good, sounds good, very good. Was it cigarette break? Was it cigarette break?
What?
The break one? Cigarette break?
No, it's not for this. I'll just put this on your ear.
On the table.
Fighters to the center of the cage, please. Fighters to the center of the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's up to 3 hardcore rounds and go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges scored in favor of your winner. In the blue corner, Lewis Wood! Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Jason Scott.